Okay, so here are our 8 parts. In this particular portion of the drawing or of the video, I'm going to show you how to put them together so that you actually have an assembly. And so to do that, we're going to learn a couple of new tools. We're going to use our 3D Rotate gizmos. We have 3 gizmos in AutoCAD. We have a rotate gizmo, a move gizmo, and a something else gizmo. I can't remember what it is. But your gizmos actually are here. So this is our 3D rotate gizmo. We're going to use that considerably. There's also a scaling gizmo. We won't use that. We will be using 3D move gizmo today. So today is a gizmo day. Gizmo. It's just fun to say. And if you're an 80s person and you know the movie. Anyways, so to put this together now, we have to do a couple of things here. So currently I have my 8 parts. However, if I select or hover over this part is not a 3D solid. It is what is considered a block reference. So when we do a W block and we send that part out the way that we did to extract it from the other drawing, it creates its own file, and it does fine. In that file, it is a 3D solid, but when we insert it into another file, as we've done for each of these parts, when it inserts, it gets defined as what's called a block reference. And so think of it this way, as that part is pushed into this new drawing, it's wrapped in a shell, and that shell is called a block reference. And because these are each single parts, there's really no reason for it to need that. What we need is we need these to be 3D solids because we're going to do a sectioned assembly in a minute and you can't section a block. So to get rid of the block reference on each part, be very, very careful what you write down here and what you do. You need to explode each part one time. Because if you explode the part a second time, you're going to destroy the 3D solid. You're going to have a surface model at that point, and when you section your assembly, you're not going to be able to see anything. It's just going to be air. So be very careful. So we're going to explode these one at a time. I'm going to use the AutoCAD explode command. This is not PLODE Lisp routine that we use when we're pulling views. This is the AutoCAD explode command, and you're going to get AutoCAD explode in a number of ways. You can either get it on the modify pull down. I lied. We don't have explode on our 3D. We don't. We don't. We don't. There it is. Okay, so it's that box that you can see the panes are separating from each other. The way that I typically get it, I type X, enter. That is the keyboard shortcut. I'm going to select one part and I'm going to hit enter. And as soon as I do that, I want to come back and check that part. So now you can see that it is indeed a 3D solid. Okay, so I'm going to do that for each one of these. X, enter, explode one time. If I were to explode this a second time, it would no longer read as a 3D solid. So be very careful. I always check each one as I go. Yep, 3D solid. This one's still a block reference. Okay, wait, did I do that one yet or not? Let me hover. Oh, nope, it's still a block reference. So X, enter, select, enter. What about this one? Did I do this one yet? No. Okay, so X, enter, select, enter. So now each of my 8 parts, oop, I've got one more. Did I do this one? X, enter, select, enter. Each of my parts should read as a 3D solid. okay? Do not explode them again, okay? All right, then what we're going to do is we're going to start putting these into position. So I'd like to put the jaw onto the body, but right now it's rotated the wrong way. So I'm going to use the 3D rotate gizmo. I'm going to select it up here. I'm going to select the part, enter, and then it gets these 3 orbital rings. We're going to choose the ring we want to swivel it around, in this case blue, and you can pull this. If your ortho is on, you can see which way it's going to go. You can also type in 90, negative 90, depending on which way you want it to go. So we want it going that way. We're done with the gizmo command, so we escape. Okay, we'll see it again. We're going to gizmo a lot. So I now want to move that part onto the body. But to do so, I want to have some reference geometry. So I have no idea why my layers won't stay on the quick access toolbar on this computer. I'm going to go to the construction layer, and I'm just going to draw a couple of construction lines. I'm going to draw a construction line from end point here to end point here, and from the midpoint along this edge to the midpoint of that edge, at which point I can move this part from the midpoint of that construction line to the midpoint of that construction line. And then I'm going to go to the right side view to double check my work. So I'm going to go right. That's going to give me a straight look at what's going on here. I like to make sure, oh, yep, I've got a gap there, I've got a gap there. Sometimes I'll go to X-ray mode, and that's going to depend on whether your computer can handle X-ray mode, to make sure that I do indeed have a flush mate here, and I have those little gaps on the side, meaning that it's centered. Okay. So next, we would put the plate on the bottom, but the plate is turned the wrong way. So we're going to 3D rotate gizmo. We're going to rotate around red, and we're going to go 180 degrees. So you can type a value. At that point, I want to move this, and this is just a regular move command, from the center of that end of the cylinder to the lowest possible center on my thread. Okay, and again, I'm going to go to X-ray, and I'm going to go to, I'll check both the front view and I'll check the side view. Okay, so those are lined up, and I'll check the right side view. And those look good. Okay. It looks like my two counterbores are slightly different. Interesting. Don't look like mine. Okay, and then what would we do? Then we would put our flathead screw in, but it's turned the wrong way. So let's 3D rotate gizmo. I'm going to pull that up this way. And then I need 2 of those. Well, I don't want to copy it yet. Let's put it into position. So let's move it from the center of the head to CEN, enter here. And then I can copy it, just my regular copy command, from the center here to the center here. I can 3D around, I can X-ray, I can check my views to make sure that those are lined up and that they're in the correct position. Okay, next I'm going to put the main screw in, but again, it's pointed the wrong way, so 3D rotate gizmo. We're going to go around green 180. Okay, now this one, I actually move this into position, making sure you have to be an X-ray or 2D wireframe to do that. If your computer won't do X-ray, you can do this in 2D wireframe. And what you're going to do is you're going to move this from the tip to the tip in the hole. Okay. Again, I like to use X-ray for this. If your computer will produce X-ray views, then it's a nice feature. FYI, X-ray is a lot harder on your video card. And since video card is the one piece that most people don't really have the power behind, be aware that you may see some visual oddities, you might see things disappearing and so forth. If that's the case, you should not use X-ray. You may need to restart your computer to flush out the RAM on that card also. So, FYI. Okay, we're going to rotate our adjusting screw. We'll pull it this way, and we're going to move it from the center at the base of the head to the center at the bottom of the counter bore. Double check your fit. Double check your fit. Okay, and then the handle. Again, 3D rotate gizmo. And for this, I always have to create a construction line here. So I'm going to create a construction line from here to here. And then I'm going to move this guy from the center there to the midpoint there. And then at that point, we're going to use our move gizmo, select. Now, your computer should default that when you select an item, just free select a solid, that the move gizmo is what should hop on there. If it doesn't, here's how you do it. On your home tab, on your selection panel, this item on the right says move gizmo. Notice if I hover here, it says this sets the default to display the 3D move gizmo when an object is selected. You have your choice of these other gizmos. So it may be set up at no gizmo. And if I select this, I don't get a gizmo. I could set it so that rotate gizmo is the, when I select it, that's the gizmo that comes on. But typically AutoCAD installs with the move gizmo as the default there. And in this case, it is. And the move gizmo, you get the three axes. And you can simply grab one and turn it gold. And you can pull along that axis. And whether your ortho is on or not, it's going to pull it right up and down along that axis, which is super cool. It's a neat tool. Here comes our cap. We're going to rotate green 90. And then we're going to move it from the center here to the center here. And then we're going to copy that. And we're going to gizmo rotate it 180. And then we're going to move from the, make sure I get the right center here. That center. And we're going to go to that center. Okay, so those are my 8 parts. We've got them put together. They look good. At this point, we're going to do something different. Take good notes here. We're going to do 2 save as actions. Okay, 2 save as actions. We're going to go File, Save As. Still having file access issues with this computer. Patrick. So in our previous session, I was accessing my removable hard drive, which is not the best practice. So I moved all my files to the desktop, and it does not seem to have improved the situation. Okay, so we're going to call this, oops, I'm going to call this, let's call this assembly exploded. Okay, and I'm going to put 2020 so I know that it's my new one. And then I'm going to save as immediately again. Save as. We're going to go to the same directory. Hello, AutoCAD. Come on, baby, you can do it. And we're going to call this assembly section. Okay, so I saved off two files, assembly exploded and assembly section. Now it leaves me in that assembly section file. So that's what we're going to do next. Okay, so I'm going to save and upload this video, and in the next video, we'll prepare the two documents.